All right, and we are live. It is July 18th, 2023. We are looking at the SPOOs and the NASDAQ, NASCRAC, and mini S&P 500 contracts. So let's start with the yearly. Um, Excuse me, let's pull up this. Okay, so we did break out of that previous prior value area, that one standard deviation of the last year. So we did have a little resistance, but we have traded above it, so we are bullish there. On the developing value area, though, we are quite outside two standard deviations. So one would think eventually there's going to be a pullback here, just based on how extended we are. But that's just kind of the nature of this thing is it can run extended, as you can see. Let me pull up a good example here. As you can see, this it kept going down even past the two standard deviation. Perhaps that's where we are here, and we'll turn around. So it's kind of a combination of bullishness and bearishness. I would like shorts from here to at least 44.84. Just pull back to that prior value area high. Moving on to the quarterly. Can't use the quarterly as the quarter just started, so it's basically just the monthly. Monthly still bullish. As you can see today at 8 a.m., we did test that 1.5 standard deviation band and continue up. So that is a bullish sign. Imbalance up continues. And here we have the weekly chart. Just ignore the screen moving average. I was playing with around with moving averages and just to kind of see reactions and stuff like that. Um, but so we were rotational, and we did meet VWAP here at 9:30, opened and got a nice little pullback long from 44 or 45.58. So we got up here, nice little pullback. That would have been a pretty sweet trade to make. And let's take a look at the TPO. So after some balance of the past few days, we were in a balanced state. Price comes down and kind of in confluence with the weekly. An interesting thing here. Or not the weekly. The weekday. Let me pull up the price weeks. Let's do days. Just take a look at this. If we look at the day, so if you look at yesterday, we did have a low volume node here, and this was a high volume node, and we tested this volume node and continued up. So we tested the point of control actually of it. So that coincides with this value area low. Um, so that would have been a nice area to take along at 45.45. So let's take a look at the regular trading hour time frame chart. So again, this is that value area. Would have been a nice little shot. You could see prior day we did have bullish drive. Um, so we come down. We're kind of balancing inside of this area, and law of market dynamics tells us this is probably going to traverse. As you can see, it does traverse to here. Get a nice little pullback opportunity here, and if you weren't in there, you have a beautiful opportunity. You have a breakout pullback of the yesterday's TPO value area, plus it's an imbalance pullback of this one standard deviation of the volume weighted average price. And then we have a retest if you didn't get in there, and then we have another one kind of dip a little bit below, not as clean of an entry, but then it keeps going. Um, so that was just a beautiful opportunity there, and with a composite, I did add those. So let's take a look at the ETH, and the ETH tells us a similar story. All right, so as you can see, the price kind of hanging down here. We don't even test the low of the overnight session, which is interesting. So we don't test that overnight low, and that area is maintained, which is a bullish sign. We get that pullback with the CVA this time. So this was a pullback of the value area high of the 1-day TPO along with the CVA. So the combining of those two value areas gives us this. I did, in fact, take a long somewhere around here. Um, and oh no, no, what I did is I took a short here for some reason, stopped out for 100 points, not a big deal. But there was beautiful opportunities. I did miss out on this one. We get the pullback, another pullback, another pullback. Overall, pretty simple day. Pretty, I wouldn't call it easy. No day's easy, but about as easy as you can get. Just continuing moving upward, and that's what you like to see. All right. So let's go into the NASDAQ. Similar story on the yearly, potentially overextended, quarterly, similar picture, bullish, overextended, and on the monthly we are bullish, overextended. One standard deviation or 1.5 standard deviation did get that bounce. On the weekly, this was interesting. Could have played right down here. This for a long, this 15.733. This would have been a nice little long. In fact, let's take a look at this daily. Oh yeah, this is something I noticed earlier in the day. Look, notice how the previous day you have this low volume node here, and then the day before that you have another low volume node. So that plus this destination, you could have played an extreme fade because I was looking to get long. That would have been a great trade, playing from 15.733 to all the way to 15.822. It's almost 90 points there. Beautiful move. As you can see, we have a volume node here. We have a little bit of a curve, and price tests below the curve, but it comes back in, and then when it accepts above, we do get a pullback into that area. So that could have yielded us a plan. So that again, that's the weekly on the TPO. Similar, a lot like the S&P. We had those 2 days. We combine those. Oh, whoops! Did not mean to combine that. Combine this with the next. I just pressed the wrong thing again. Let's try this again. There we go. Love the extending profile or triangle. As you can see, open here. We test. We come around, and then we finally one-time frame up from there. So let's pull up. This was a little interesting. In fact, I only took 2 trades today from this. Well, actually, no, I took 3. So what I did, oh, whoops. What I did here, see if we can get this a little bit larger. There we go. So what I did here is I did notice we were in a downtrend. I did not get this opportunity. However, once we got up here, I took a short from 82 to 54.25. Yeah, from here to here. That was 8 points, and then I took another short here and got another 8 points there. I did take a long up here, but it was with a tight stop, and I got stopped out here. But overall, I did make the points, and so price does trend up. Very steep curve, typical of a trend day. Get a little pullback to the 1.5 standard deviation, but nothing too crazy. I would have loved to stay in this trade, maybe put a stop at that 1.5, maybe get in here, maybe get in here. But I did take these little 2 shorts and made money on that. Let's see if All right, cool. And it looks like crude's ready. Uh, but let's just take another look at the NASDAQ here on regular trading hours. I don't remember. Yeah, so it was like here and here's where I shorted. It was the yesterday's VPOC or yesterday's point of control. So I was shorting at the yesterday point of control twice, and that made money, which ended up, it was interesting because it was a trend day going the other way. You get a pullback here, you get a pullback here. This was an interesting, it's kind of a micro pullback, a little breakout pullback, and this is more of an inbound pullback. But overall, I'm happy with how I traded today. You know, it shows you can make money even if you're taking these little moves, even if it's a giant move after that. But overall, no complaints here. Just going to continue to get better and try to learn what I can. And yeah, so test it down there. So now let's take a look at crude. So on the yearly, we did reject from that prior value area low on the yearly. So I would look for additional shorts here from 7676. We are, looks like we are accepted in here, so I would expect it to reverse. So if it doesn't look like this is a good short opportunity, maybe take a look at here kind of as a neutral zone. On the quarterly, similar story to the other uh, instruments. Can't really use this. We are inside this prior value zone. So just expect a little rotation until more information develops. On the monthly, it looks like we are trying to go and balance up, and it looks like we have been defending 75, 40, and 9. Um, so we'll see what happens here, but it is attempting to break out, which could be bullish. Before that was kind of looking like we accepted in here, we'd look for shorts, but if we continue to hold above and accept, that's going to be bullish. On the weekly, uh, so we're inside the prior weekly zone. We do have a little nice imbalance up and pull back here. It's not the cleanest, but that's bullish. All right, let me see if, yeah, it's not the cleanest profile. Um, so let's take a look at the ETH. Hold up. Oh, you know what? I think let me take a look. Let me take a look at this. Did I draw this? It's not the cleanest balance. The bottom part looks like pretty decent balance. So let's see. No, I don't think I played that. Let's erase that drawing. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, not the cleanest looking balance. Even if let's just see. Just to see if this makes sense. Kind of similar story to the other one. Um, okay. Get little reactions. Okay, yep. So my main trade today, um, I see the weekly was bullish, so we were stocking longs. The main trade today was based on the regular trade hour chart, and it was kind of this flagging pattern. See the strong move up, kind of sideways and up again. So I did take a long here with the imbalance pullback of the standard deviation of the regular trade hours. This would have been another opportunity. So I just got long here, exit up here for 40 cents move, um, which was a good move. Overall, did have a profitable day, so I am happy about that. Uh, things to work on would be holding on to runners, not missing obvious trades like this one. Like this was right in the face, textbook move here, and then the additional ad. This was very. I should have waited. Should have been patient. I think that's another thing I can work on. But this was a beautiful opportunity for 54, and it ran up to almost 90, 94. So 54 to 94, that's 40 points in one move, which is absolutely crazy. But that is what it is. Anyway, that does complete the review for today. On the ETH, we do get a nice little pullback here on the crude here. So this could have been a nice little long, and see what happens here. Did it look like we were compressing up after we broke up here? But besides that, those were the main trades for the day. All right. Well, again, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. I hope I learned something by recording this.